Bleed, an integral part for players who can't get over their skill issue to succeed in beating Elden Ring. Scarlet Rot, another integral crutch for those that can't get over their skill issue so they can kite the boss as their HP drains from the disease festering in their flesh. Frostbite, you can reset it with fire damage. Madness. Okay, well, this one's less of a crutch because it's only for NPCs, but it's still a status, so I need to like mention it. Sleep. Completely useless except for the bosses, which are actually affected by it, aka the gods can do it. And then it's basically madness. It's useless. Death blight. Yeah. All right. Well, there's nothing to say about the status. Who the hell uses Death Blight in a normal Elden Ring setting? Are you using Death Blight against the Elden Beast? No, I don't think so. These are all the statuses that can be afflicted in Elden Ring. And today, I want to see if we can beat Elden Ring, not only without utilizing these, but without being afflicted with any status buildup. Our adventure starts with No Status, a black-haired, frail of constitution man that could not withstand a shred of any element without forever perishing. No Status was a methodical man, obsessed with being strong of muscle and avoiding any sort of element, so he started his adventure by preparing himself as thoroughly as he could. Breaking the fourth wall for a second here, this video is based on my first stream of this challenge, where I also made it hardcore and streamed it on this YouTube channel, so subscribe if you'd be interested in that, and hit that notification bell for when I decide to stream again in probably a long time from now. I'm not gonna lie, I still have like exams and other stuff going on, but you should subscribe so when I make a comeback you'll be notified and you can watch me play Elden Ring live, or episode 2 of this, which hopefully comes out soon after this video. Alright, I'm going to drop the fantasy accent because it's getting annoying. No Status started his preparation by going to the Third Church of Margit and using a secret teleporter in the big puddle behind the ruins. He planned to head towards a land of legend where people would gain infinite runes as long as they worked tirelessly forever, making sure to head through the Dragon Bridge as the more direct path was littered with filthy, tiny militia soldiers' poison bombs. It was then when the Finger Maiden invited him to the Round Table Hold, where he would make an important purchase from Brother Colin, Catch Flame, making absolutely sure to buy a seal to use said incantation. Next, No Status was washed away with a sense of bewilderment for what to do next. He heard some bones clattering with water nearby, and remembered that skeletons are unlikely to do bleed damage in such a feeble area. So, he equipped the sacred blade Ash of War that lied nearby in a dung beetle, and with his club, battered the boat guy with his holy weapon and moved on to greater objectives. This greater objective came to him as a search for his weapon of choice in the south. The Weeping Peninsula was a wonderful place for this, as he drifted from Estus Flask upgrade to Estus Flask upgrade, and eventually landing on the Zweihander, a noble posture crusher. No Status did not have the strength unless he two-handed it, nor the upgrades for his weapon to become any sort of a powerhouse, so he wandered for a long time, searching for some measly upgrades that would make his scared mind feel secure confronting the #1 racist boss in the game, Margit the Omen. This preparation included returning to Caelid's Lands of Promise of Runes and baiting a drunk horse rider to jump to her death, and baiting a troll to break a statue with more Zweihander sword upgrade materials. With this, he upgraded his sword to +5 and demolished the pathetic knight Bernalv by spamming his Ash of War and charging his sword with R2 and that handy axe talisman he got in the woods a bit ago. With all that out of the way, our schizophrenic, paranoid, and I can't stress this enough, frail protagonist was starting to make their way to Margit. An epic fight was about to break out. Due to my Zweihander doing little Ash of War damage, I go back to Caelid and grab Cragblade. This gave me an idea. If I paired the posture smashing of my big sword and combined it with a massive crit damage of Miskoroid, I could be unstoppable. There's barely any status in Stormveil, as far as I can tell, so I didn't worry much for anything and went straight to the runt of the demigods. No Status's fight with Godrick was simple. No further upgrades were added to the sword, and to be frank, even less preparation could have been made for this part of the run. Godrick is just simply such a pushover that I can probably confidently beat him with any weapon as long as they've been upgraded once or twice. As our dear and beloved main character stepped forwards, a notable amount of ego had infected him. Hopefully this doesn't come back to haunt him and melt his wings of wax. Anyways, on to Liurna, a considerably easy area for a barbarian germaphobe. So without further ado, he ran towards the cave beyond Raya Lucaria into the Raya Lucaria Crystal Tunnel to grab the Raya Lucaria Crystal Tunnel Grace and beat the Crystallion to get some more upgrades for the Zweihander. It wasn't going to be much, as he knew he could demolish everything in that silly castle with his raw physical damage. But he did realize that he needed some upgrades. That said, after that, he went straight to the Red Wolf of Radagon to rip this poor good boy limb from limb with my Pop Rock sword. Now, we just need to go annihilate Renala and Radahn normally, since their fights do not include any sort of status effect. After, of course, juking out the most annoying NPC in the entire video game. Never mind then. I guess I'll see you all in episode 2. If that were to be where this video ends. We're not even 10 minutes in this shit, so I'm just going to give you a conclusion of everything I've learned from the early stage of this run. If you're good at the video game, you'll only really need to buy some smithing stones from the merchants around here and the statue I mentioned before here. You gotta make sure that troll uses a right move, because I've had it so like the troll uses a move on the statue to break it, but it doesn't break. I think it's only certain moves that actually break the statue, so just keep baiting it. After that, there will be some smithing stone miner's bell bearings as you progress in caves that you can dip into and have a fluid progression system. Except for a single weapon, which you'll have to over level, but that's a spoiler for next episode, so don't tell anyone that I told you that. No, I'm not padding out this video by saying this part that I'm supposed to only leave in writing in the front. Okay, I'm talking too much, sorry. You really don't have to worry about status in the initial area, but I might as well mention that common areas are basically too risky or head to, like Fort Farath in Caelid, which has the trusty talisman that everyone has come to love, known as the Radagon's Source Seal. And then you have the Frenzied Flame Village outskirts, aka the top area right of Liurna, which sucks because it gets rid of another tree spirit, whatever the hell they're called. What is it called? It's called a Erdtree avatar that has like the magic and lightning and holy shrouding crack tiers, which are really useful if you're not doing a strength run. But sadly, there's like a Eye of Sauron that literally infects you with madness if you try to go through that area. And I've tried going through there. It's too hard. It's probably possible, and I'm not gonna lie, there's probably a video out there, but I searched for it and I didn't find it in the first 2 minutes of research, so it's basically non-existent. And then you have some caves in Caelid, which I'm not telling you specifically which because I'm too lazy to check each one individually. I will say the one that you can get teleported from Limgrave, and the final boss is a like a rock dog. What's man, I should really like know the names of all these bosses. A falling star beast. You can head to that one. The cave is called Celia Crystal Tunnel. That one's completely fine. Just not any other caves, because they do tend to have rot on the floor, and if you can't summon torrent in the cave, you'll have to walk through it, or there's bleed, or it's just annoying. It's just not worth it. And then sadly, fighting tree avatars in Caelid late in the run, since their rot slam can catch you if you're not perfect. I've had it in some practice runs where the tree avatar will kill me with a slam and it won't give me rot, but then my body will fall backwards for the death animation, and while I'm like being Thanos snapped away, my body somehow contracts some rot, and I've had to restart the run. So just keep that in mind. If you want to go to patches, do the following. Drop in front of the cave from above with your horse, watch as the fog wall raises in front of you, quit the game, and then refresh. Make sure you're not on torrent, by the way, after you land. Like, get off, land on the floor, get off of torrent, and try to walk to the cave. Buy the Margit shackle when you beat patches. I really recommend it. It's gonna have an important use in a later episode, so just use it, or maybe use it for the first fight against Margit if you're struggling. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say. I hope this video wasn't too bad. I'm not good at scripting or reading a script out loud, and you can probably tell. I'm so used to just ranting. Like, even now I'm ranting because I cannot put the words I want to say into text and then read them in a way that doesn't feel very forced. So if there's any feedback or anything like that, I would love to hear it in the comments. It doesn't, like, you don't even have to stress about being overly positive. I know a lot of people don't. In fact, a lot of people just want an opportunity to be able to be haters, and honestly, I'm in a point where even that type of like criticism is completely fine by me, because I understand I'm terrible at this, so I just want to improve. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night. Bye bye.